Hello and welcome to our Wabcowürth webinar session about our cockpit function in our W.EASY Diagnosis software and about the MCC, the Mirror Cam Calibration tool that we have. Today I would like to introduce these topics to you. Thank you very much. My name is Markus Richter. I'm responsible in the key account management for the manufacturer and the auto glass companies. And therefore, I have been quite a lot attached to this topic today. Before, I would like to introduce to you our cockpit function that we have. So as you can see, we have opened up our software. This is the front screen of our software. What we need to do now is we need to identify the right truck. We are currently in the simulation mode. Just for those who have not been noticing how the simulation mode works out, I will go into the instructions, go into diagnose box, and as you can see here, we have switched the type of diagnose box on to simulator because we do not have the truck available today. But nevertheless, we can show you the cockpit function, and that is the important part. Regarding the simulation mode, if you do not have a truck available, no problem, switch in our software on the simulation mode, and you can go back and can do a little bit of training or set your trainee onto the system and let them play a little bit around to figure out, okay, where are the functions, what are the functions about, opening up help files, maps, and so on. Okay, so we will now identify the right truck, and for that I will use the search bar function. In this case, we have the DAF XF as an example, and we go further on to the DAF. Okay, we will open it up. The cockpit function has been requested by quite a few customers, so thank you very much for your ideas and your interests. We have been developing on this topic now, and as you will see in the next steps, we are able to take care of your interests. So we have now the, I have to check now again what it is, anti-pollution, I think it is. Let me quickly, yep, there you go, OBD. So a little bit of different setting as the German ones is, because in the German it says Abgasuntersuchungssystem, and this is set up in the top, so that was why I was a little bit irritated. Nevertheless, we have now opened up the EDU of AdBlue system. It might be that, especially for, like example, for MAN, for Mercedes, where we have this function available as well, you can find this function in the engine. Why in the engine? It's because the data is stored in the component of the engine of the EDC. So therefore, do not hesitate to opening up the engine if you're not able to find the emission system. In this case, we open up the cockpit function. We are now in the simulation mode. So what you will not see is you will see active figures in our board. And as it is shown here, it has a little bit of a weather forecast, by the way, but okay. You will see different components over here. Yeah, the overview here, and you can see different types of figures. They are zeroed now. The zeros are active when you have the right truck available. So in that point, when you push the gas, the engine, you will see that those figures will go up or down, or even if you were on a test drive and you're coming back to your workshop, you can set this up and you will see easily, okay, those are the figures, the current figures of the system. So this gives you a nice and clear overview about the whole emission system, about the AdBlue system in this case. And yeah, that's everything I need to say about this function. I hope it is a help for you, a specific help for you, because it really makes the identification a lot more easy. Yeah. So thank you very much about this. What I will do now is I will close down the function and we will go to our MCC. What we will do on the MCC is, hold on a second, there you go, the Mirror Cam Calibration system, and we have the system here on the table. So as you can see here already, the targets. Why do we have this system? The cameras are coming up on the market more and more. Mercedes have been starting 2 years ago with the system. The system is, I would say, it is an ADAS system. Yeah, so it's a driver's assistance system. The mirrors are not available anymore for those trucks on Mercedes, and they use the camera. Nevertheless, if you see still brand new Mercedes with this camera attached, with the mirrors, with the regular mirrors attached, they are still available from Mercedes. So do not get irritated. Let's say the primer setup of the truck is with the camera mirrors, yeah, the exchange system. Okay, and the tool I would like to introduce to you today is exactly to calibrate this Mirror Cam. The good thing is on our solution, since it is a helpful tool, it can be used on foreign software solutions as well, on foreign diagnosed systems as well. And in this case, I recommend this because it can be used with the original Mercedes diagnose, and that's definitely let's say an argument, yeah, a positive argument, because as we know, the OE, the official OE solution for this helpful tool costs a lot more than our solution is, so quite a lot less than the OE required tool. Nevertheless, this tool fulfills all the standards. In Germany, for example, we are listed in the official Mercedes Benz store with the tool. So it is able for the Mercedes dealers to buy straight via Mercedes from us. So this, by the way, as an information. We have these two targets that we need to place on both sides of the truck in the first step in the on the wheels. We have an additional plate. So as you can see here, different parts. Yeah. So you can take everything off really to store it down, really to store it in a small place. And yeah, from that point of view, you can set this up the right way. We have this little red arrow here. Maybe we can see it. Maybe the colleague can. Exactly. We see this little red arrow here. So we need to adjust the bar until this, hold on, this point to, there you go. And in a second step, and that's something I will take down here because it's easier to ensure not to fall over, we will mount this little cross. There you go. This way. There is also an additional marking I will show to you. There's a red marking, yeah, which gives us the right size that we need to have for Mercedes. So it helps us to have the adjustment right away. And on the second step, we do it on the other side as well. And what we need to do in the next step is to mount the laser. As well in the setup is this little distance. Oh, hold on a second. Is this little digital measurement, distance measurement. What we can do is now this laser is part of our regular WEASY ADAS system. So to those who have our ADAS calibration system or WEASY ADAS calibration system, they can use this laser further on. For those who do not have it, you can order it on top with the whole solution. So you get the full digital solution to set this tool up. Okay, what I need to do now is there is a screw behind this little plate. We need to set up the laser onto this screw. There you go. And as you can see it here on the top, maybe the colleague can zoom a little bit in. You can see this little edge here, this little hint. For that, if you turn on the laser, hold on a second, there you go. We need to hit this little edge to ensure to be in a 90-degree angle with the laser and the bar itself. Yeah, because this is important. So 90-degree angle with the laser, yeah, this is important. Because when we adjust the tool in the back of the truck, we will show this in a small video further on where you can see it. It is important to centerize the tool in the center of the truck. Yeah, okay. There we go. So I would like to switch now on to a little video that we have been doing. And you can see in the video of a Mercedes truck, we will comment this video. I will comment this video with this truck to explain you how the whole calibration process works. We will see our colleague Ralf Niklaus, our product trainer, performing this calibration. Here in this step, you see already the equipment as I introduced it to you. What we have additionally is a foil that is necessary, yeah, because especially in the first 2 years when the system was initiated, Mercedes did not have did not have displayed this scale in the screen in the truck. Now, after 2 years, we are able to show up this scale via diagnose system. So as soon as I turn in the calibration, or as soon as I switch on to the calibration mode of these cameras, you will see this coming up. So this foil is also available from our side if the truck is roughly 2 years old, or not 2 years old, but from the last 1.5 years, I would say 1 year, yeah, roughly. You will get this foil on the diagnose function. So not necessary on the newest Mercedes trucks. Nevertheless, if you have an older one, do not hesitate. You can order this scale from us. You need it for both sides. You need it for the left and the right side, for the driver's side and the drive-by seat. So yeah, you see also that the solution is available without the laser, and you see the solution with the laser. So now we will proceed further on, and you will see in the workshop there is Ralf coming up using the tool, setting up the right distance, as I showed also to you, set up the laser. And in the first step, and that's interesting here, you see the layout sketch, and you see exactly where to adjust the red cross. The solution that you see here is the Mercedes-based solution. We have further manufacturer on the market that came up with their systems, with their camera systems as well, like MAN and like DAF. Those systems, we currently do not know how the calibration process is done. Nevertheless, the system is, I would say, flexible. So we are able to adjust further needs onto the tool as soon as we know how the official calibration process is working. Okay, so here you see the map, how to adjust the tool. You have fixing points to set up the right distance and the right size. Those are explained in our diagnose. So how to find the distances, you will find them in our diagnose as well. You will see that further on when we go through the diagnose. So Ralf is now setting up the distances with a few small markings on the floor. And that is also important. He takes the distance measurement. This is a little bit simplified now. We have been making some markings on our tool, so you can set it up with the markings that we have on the tool. And the right distance is set up in the front. And what we do now is we take 4 meters and 90 centimeters in distance to ensure that we have the right spot on the floor, because those are the spots where the camera has to be adjusted on with the scale. That's what we will see later on. So now he has been able to make the markings from the distance, taking back the tool, adjusting the center. Exactly, there is the edge what I mentioned, to have the 90-degree angle of the tool. We centerize the tool on the axle of the truck, take the markings on the spots here. So we have the right distance, we have the right setup. And the next step is opening up the software. Going for the function of the Mercedes and opening up the Mercedes Benz function. He's doing now a system scan. That's also something we recommend, especially if you do this job in service. So that is also important. So if you do this on service, ensure, hold on a second, there you go. Ensure to have the system scan available, because you will see if you go with the scan afterwards as well, you have an incoming scan and an outgoing scan to ensure to have the systems identically set up, because customers might complain after a calibration that they have failure codes in their truck, in their dashboard, and with that you can ensure that you tell them, hey guy, this failure must be been upfront, and I was not the one who caused this failure. So as we see here, the system itself now doesn't have any failures. Interesting is, you will see it now in the German version, in the German software version. So sorry for that, we do not have the setup in English. We save the protocol, and as you see here, the failures are not present. Selecting the control unit, the mirror camera is also something, and then we do the calibration of the driver's mirror. Important is you have to calibrate both sides. You have to calibrate the driver side and the drive-by side, because even if you only take one of the mirrors off, you have to calibrate them both, because they have to be set up in the same direction. A calibration at the moment is not necessary when you exchange the windscreen. That's important to know. An exchange, a calibration of the mirrors is necessary as soon as you take off these cameras. So if you have the situation with the windscreen that you take off the cameras, then please calibrate it. If you're able to keep the cameras on during the windscreen exchange, fine, no need to calibrate the cameras back on. So important to know is only when you take them off, when you have a repair and exchange of the system, please calibrate the system on both sides. Important to see. Here you can see again the little dashboard of the truck, the markings. You see also informations, the status that we have to have, meaning that we have to have the wheels in the right direction, that we have the ignition on, and that we have a flat ground, for example. So all these conditions we have to fulfill. And also important to say, these conditions are set up by Mercedes. So if you're, let's say, if you're arguing with this kind of, for what do we need to have the right pressure on the tires, that's not necessary. Okay, if you say it's not necessary, it's up to you. But it's the Mercedes guidelines. Okay, and that is important, because those are the ambitions that we have to fulfill, the Mercedes guidelines, and it's nothing that Wabcowürth has placed in here just to, make you a bit mad about it. So please take them as they are, fulfill the conditions, and then you can do the calibration. Further on, you can see, hold on a second, there you go. Further on, you can see, a little step further up. How to place the tool. This is now in German, but nevertheless, we have it in English and all the languages available as our software is available. This is the explanation how to set up the tool, and also in this has been taken over from Mercedes. So if you complain about, well, that sounds complicated, I do not understand what it is about. Okay, I'm truly with you. Sometimes the OE instructions are quite complicated, but we have just taken them to fulfill the OE standards. Nevertheless, in case you're struggling with the service, open up YouTube, open up Wabcowürth channel, and you will find the video that I'm showing to you, and you can just have a look on. Okay? So do not struggle with that topic. You will get help, at least on our YouTube channel on Wabcowürth. So further on, here you see the topic with the foil, as I mentioned, that you have to attach onto the screen. What I can tell you here is the foil can be then sticked onto the screen inside. It's not glued, it's anti-static, have mounted onto the screen. And if it's not too dirty, you can use it a little bit more than just once. Okay, also available from us. Okay, so we proceed. You have understood, you have read and understood the news. You have to type in the super pin, which is necessary. You will receive this super pin as soon as you purchase our system, our diagnose system. This super pin is just necessary to ensure that people are working with the system who have the knowledge. Yeah, so do not hand over the super pin to other people. The super pin is valid just for this system. Even if you have an employee that is switching the company, he cannot use the super pin further on. So we proceed. We have chosen the right side of calibration that we need to do. So Ralph is taking off the foil. Seems to be a hot day that day. And he's sticking on the foil onto the screen. So now you see this little target that we have placed on the ground. Important is that you have the same figure on this scale on both sides. Yeah, that is important because then we are even with the cameras on both sides. So, and we are now proceeding with the calibration. And what we have to do now is we have to do it on the drive-by side as well. And then we have already done an official calibration. You will get the protocol now. Also, in this case, the protocol is also important in case you have to turn in the service on an insurance or on a customer side, whatever is necessary. You can store this this protocol onto your device, and if necessary, open up the storage underneath here. You can open up the file via PDF and send it around via email, or just keep it stored. And do an outgoing scan. Also, as I mentioned up front, with the outgoing scan, you can be sure to have the same status as we are having it when the truck was coming in. So in this case, it's running through, and we're basically done with our calibration. So I would like to say thank you very much for participating on today's webinar. We'll just quickly stop that. Thank you very much for participating in today's webinar on the MCC. If you have any further questions, do not hesitate to send them in our chat function. We will answer them. We have the experts behind the scenes, as I mentioned. If you're interested in the system, send us a request. We will take care of it. And I say thank you very much for participating in today's webinar, and have a nice day.